just type in your question. Okay, as usual, if you have questions, type in your question box and I will get back to you on that. Okay, so let's get started. Weekly market outlook, right? First off, with disclaimer, you need to understand that when it comes to trading in the financial markets, it does involve risk, and you want to ensure that you're trading with risk capital only. You want to ensure you're trading with risk capital only, as this is for educational purposes. Okay, so you know the drill. When it comes to trading, you want to trade with money you can afford to lose. I'm going to be your host as usual. My name is Inan Alexander, aka the FX Chief. I'm the senior market analyst here at Anzo Capital, and as you know, I'm a technical / smart money type trader. Okay, now so we would be looking over. So we'll look over a few things. Mostly we'll look at trade ideas in terms of we'll look at some top trades. I like NZD/USD. You need to actually stick to a particular. You need to stick to a particular session where it is. If not, the trade doesn't make sense. We'll also look at GBPUSD. We look at some euro pair. Euro is looking very exciting. If the markets can start to cooperate. For the week, we could see a very strong euro for the week, and we'll find a way to take advantage of that. GBPUSD, as this was an old trade, most of you here, or some of you here, especially those of you who were able to join me in my clients-only classes, you know that we should be in a trade that should be in a lot of profits on GBPUSD. Then we'll look at some cryptos, look at the DXY, and look at USOIL. Okay, so that being said, let us go over to our charts. Okay, and so we're going to start off by looking at the NZD/USD. So NZD, that's the New Zealand dollar against the USD. The reason I kind of like this one is, okay, so let's do a quick top-down analysis on this. So I'm going to just delete this. So let's do a top-down analysis on this, and let's start by going to the daily charts. So 1 day. So this is the daily chart, and clearly from this, what you can see is that the market is bearish, right? So clearly from the much higher time frame, this session here, the market was bullish. Since making this high here, the market has then been making lower lows and lower highs. So the market has been making lower lows and lower highs into this region. So this is the current last move, right? Now, since making this low here, we've been pushing up. So we're pushing up into this zone. And then, so for a few weeks, I have been looking at this area here as potential areas where I would like to sell from. However, with recent price action, we may see a potential short trade opportunity or selling opportunity here, depending on if the market cooperates with us and respect certain areas. So now we have the longer frame bias. The market is bearish long term. So we're going to try and, as much as possible, trade in the direction of the trend. Now, if we drop down to like the 4-hour charts here, you would see that we have this. So from this, since making this initial bearish move lower, we have since started making a bullish push to the upside. However, in doing so this is what I mean with making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? Higher lows and higher high. And then we somewhat made a lower low, because this low, although very much slightly, is lower than this current one. And okay, let me delete this. And so since making this low here, we are now rallying, right? So I was looking at this area to sell from, to then take this at least to this low here, or maybe even further down here. However, the price needs to, so here is the catch. Price needs to respect this high here. If price fails to respect this high, or if this high gets taken out, then this outlook is negated. You can see that so far, price has not taken this one out, right? I was looking to participate as a seller from here. Actually, I did jump in as a seller here. Obviously, because I understand that we may go much higher, I'm keeping my risk on this one quite small. But here is the displacement I liked. So notice that yes, we'll be making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows into this region. And then since making this high, notice that we took out this low. So this is a lower low, right? So ideally, I would like to see price respect this high and then at least put a new low here. So this is the move, this is a move that we're looking to play out. The current price area is quite good in terms of risk to rewards, because if I'm looking to place it, if I'm looking to participate in a trade like this, well, look at it, where my protected stop loss should be just slightly above here, because I don't expect, if price takes out that high, then this whole trade is negated. So something like this. But what you might want to do is look for some sort of confirmation, because one thing you don't want to do is just take trades at face value. So NZD USD is one that we could, that could provide us opportunity if the markets decide to start operating in our favor. So you could drop down to the 15-minute time frame, look for some counter trend line breaks or some break of structure. So if we drop to the 15-minute time frame here, let's see. So confirmation could be in the form of break of structure. You could see we have price pockets that markets might likely want to get down towards, but you need markets to break structure. And what would a structural break look like? Well, price, a structural break would be, you want to see price take out this low here. That would then confirm that we've changed structure. Maybe probably holding this high, taking out this low. You could then look to sell, keep your stop loss above that high, and look to write this down low. And but remember that our overall bias was based on a much higher time frame. So this trade could then turn out to run something like this, right? But obviously, you'd definitely want to partial out as price is moving in your favor. Okay. Okay. Now NZD, that's on NZD USD. But let's quickly look. Let's open up our forex factory and see if we can just see what the market has to offer us this week in terms of fundamental news. So while that one is loading, we're going to go back to our charts and continue from where we left off. So what the next pair we'll be looking at is GBPUSD. Although this one, for some of you, anybody here, anybody in class was able to participate in the GBPUSD trades, just let me know. I hope are you still holding or have you closed out for profit? Now, GBPUSD, okay, I usually like to do the DXY. Let me do that first. So let's look at the dollar index, so the DXY, and see what we have. Daily charts. Okay, so for the dollar index, we're pretty much where we were. Nothing out of the ordinary. We could go higher, we could come lower. But if we see this strengthening, we'll see a stronger dollar. If we see this weakening, we'll see a weaker dollar. So let's leave that. Nothing here to analyze. Nothing much to analyze here. So GBPUSD is where we'll go to next. Sorry. Okay, so NZD. So GBPUSD, very nice trades. For some of you guys, especially those of you who joined in my client-only trading room, you would know that you know that I had an entry on this trade all the way back here. I called this entry. I don't know if anybody was able to jump in on this one. I explained to you how I'll be looking to partial out, and I have so far. I've taken first partial here, I've taken my second partial here. I'm looking to take the next one here before letting the rest run. But beside that, I also did mention about this area in the class, the cutting edge class. And I was saying we could see price come into this zone and then pull back. I don't know if anybody also take advantage of this. We had this. So I had another position added to my trade here. So I have this trade is still running, this one is still running. So far, this is up 213 pips thereabouts. So just say just about 200 pips so far. And I'm looking to have this continue to run down here. But because long term, the idea is long term, the market is quite poised to go short. Notice that we've broken this ascending trend line. We've broken trend line support. We broke it here, went back to the retest, and then we are breaking lower here. But as it stands now, if we take out this low, so if we come below this low here, then we're going to see a very, very strong move to the downside. So this is our protected low here. If price takes out this low, then very likely we will see this run to come towards this region here. So this long term, this is going to be a very big move in terms of if and when it does play out, because we're looking at something like 600 pips move if and when this plays out. And for some of us who've been selling from all the way up here based on our analysis in our class, in our cutting edge trading room. So if you're not in the cutting edge trading room with me, then you're probably doing yourself a disadvantage. Or if you have access to the room and you don't join in, you're also not doing yourself any favors as well. But for this one, I am still very bearish on this. I want to see price take out this low. If we take out this low, I would be looking to, if price takes out this low here, I'll be looking for price to maybe come into the zone, and then I'll be looking to take this all the way down. Now, obviously, I may not take this whole trade in one swing. I might look for several opportunities to jump in as price is on the smaller time frame as price is moving in my way to then drive this down. So on this one, bearish outlook, look for a break below this support region here or demand zone here, and then look for price to retrace into some fib levels, and then look to pull back to try and sell this all the way down. Obviously, as price is moving your way, you want to protect your profits, and then obviously partial out or close your trade, because it's important to be right, but it's more important to take profits from your trade. So GBPUSD want to keep an eye on for the week. Also, we would be looking at the euro crosses, some of the euro crosses, because the euro pair seems to be ready, seems to be poised to want to move. So we'll see if we get that move. But before we do that, let's look at our forex factory, look at our calendar, and see if what we should pay attention to in terms of news reports, whether we want to stay out of the market at certain times or not. So today we have today being Monday, February 21st, we have the German manufacturing PMI, which these news are already out already. So you could see this one was bad, worse than expected. This was better than expected. But the euro has been strong today. So the euro has been strong today. Maybe this has something to do with it. But let's look at the entire week. So on Tuesday, I'm looking, so Wednesday is the one with so much impact, and this is most related to the NZD. So we have the official cash rate statement, which is expected to be 1.0. The previous was 0.75. I don't expect a change. I think we'll see it at 1.0. If it comes out less than 1.0, it will be bad for the NZD. If it comes out at 1.0, I think the market has priced this into, we might not see so much reaction, but it will be good for the NZD. So remember how we're looking at GBPUSD just now? Well, if we see a stronger NZD, then it favors our GBPUSD trade. So if all these reports, if the market, the fundamental report comes out quite better than expected, then we could see our GBPUSD trade play on nicely. I also have some NZD plays on NZD CAD and NZD CHF, but I won't be talking about those ones here. I'll probably talk about them in our cutting edge trading room. We are already in some trades. I don't know if you guys are able to jump in on the trades. We're already in some trades in NZD CAD and NZD CHF. We'll be looking to manage those trades and look to add more to our position. And then on Thursday, we have the GDP reports from the US. So this would be a key one to watch for. And then also on Friday, we'll also have the core price index also from the US. And this would also be a key one to pay attention to. So personally, I don't trade the news. What I just do is figure out, spot those times where those impact news will come out, and try and manage my trade around those regions or stay away from the chart entirely. Okay, so back to our chart. GBPUSD, you have my trade bias on this. I'm bearish. On Wednesday, reports all the high impact news from the New Zealand. Let's see if that plays out in our favor to help us see this strong move down. Also, euro. So I talked about the eurozone itself. So we'll look at, let's look at EURUSD. Right, so EURUSD, I was looking to see if we drop down into this zone for EURUSD, but for now we're still just stalling in the middle. I initially started buying from down here. I still have some of those positions open. I'm looking to maybe reload if we drop into this zone and look to take this all the way up. Long term, my target is 1.2080, which is the FOMC pocket back in June 2021. I feel price likely want to get all the way up to this zone. How and when it does that, we're not sure yet, but I have to, what I like to do is follow price. And so if you look at this in this sense, so let me just bring my horizontal, my trend line too, you'll notice that we have broken this trend line. So this is the reason why. So notice, look at this, we had our touch here, a retest of resistance, rejection from resistance, and then we had this false break, which then pull back, and then we had this break, this clear break up here. So what we could see is this: the market could, it has, you see that it has retested the backside of the resistance as support, but we could just continue to grind until we get into this zone, and then we start making this push, right? But there's nothing saying that's how we have to go. We could definitely start pushing up from here. Definitely in terms of technical outlook, the market is, is looking much more bullish than it is bearish, owing to the fact that we've made new high, we've broken away from this trend line, and then we're looking to see if we could find momentum to then go our way. Now, as far as momentum indicator is concerned, it is normal. We're not having any sort of divergence. Let's look at the 4-hour chart and see. Also the same, no divergence on the 4-hour chart. So we could very, very much likely continue to grind our way lower until we'll come back to this area. So for now, what you can be looking out for is, so if we break these highs, so if we break this high here, we could try to get up to this area, but more likely than not, we could see price, we might likely see the market continue to grind its way lower. And then when you see price come into this zone, this is where you should probably set an alarm, have your start looking for opportunities. You could see some Y-Corp distribution or accumulation from this zone. Then you could start looking to buy to take this higher. So basically, what I'm pointing out for you is areas of interest or point of interest to watch for. I like looking for buying opportunity here, but I don't really want to start buying from here, except I start seeing clear breaks of this high. But unless we see a clear break of these highs, I'll be more interested in looking for price to drop down to this zone and then look to buy on the other side. GBPUSD is daily charts. So GBPUSD, you guys all know my my bias on this for a long time. I've been selling from up here. I've been talking about this for a while. But we looked to see if price go back into the zone. So far, we have gotten some rejection, but not the rejection not the rejection I was interested in. I wanted to see tap into the zone, reject, and continue to go down. But as it stands now, price seems to want to go up, right? So one of the things I don't like to do is force price. I can't control the price. And I don't want to have a very strong bias that blinds me from looking at what is right in front of me. So as it stands, I'm not interested in selling as of for right now, even though I'm not interested in buying as well, because I have to respect the fact that sellers, long-term are still in control. So I have to find a way to look for, can we plan our trades? Well, in terms of price pockets, we have some missed pockets all the way up here that price may want to get back to. So which is why so this is going to be my area of interest here. It's going to be my area of interest. I'll be looking to see how price reacts when it gets up to this zone. Then I'll be looking for selling opportunities to take this lower before now. And don't mind you, I still have a sell position from up here, and I'll leave that open. If the market wants to take it out, well, that's fine. I have sell position from up here. I've partialed out a lot of the time. I still have some position up. My stop loss is now at break even, which is somewhere around here. So We'll see how that whether price gets up to that point. But if it does, I will be looking at this zone and to see how price reacts from here. If we get some sort of rejection without taking out this high, I'll be looking to sell this back down. So that is the idea. That is my idea for this one. I'll be looking to see price get to this area, watch how the market reacts, and then look to sell from that region. Keep my stop loss just above the high, because that will be the negation, and try and take this down, right? Because you can see both for the first trade or any other trade I took in between here, that was the plan, to see if we could take this back down. Now, I will be discussing a lot of these entries of my entry criteria and looking for trades. And when trades are setting up, I'll be calling them on the Telegram channel. So so make sure you are able to participate or join in that. And remember, to join in my client-only trading room, you have to have a funded account to be able to analyze the market with me on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays. And we look for opportunities, live opportunities in the market. We analyze all the currency pairs as much as we can and look to cash out in the market. Okay, so GBPUSD, we'll discuss USD, EURUSD. Now let's look at USD, EuroCAD, right? So EuroCAD is an interesting one. Is it EuroCAD? No, EURUAUD. So EURUAUD is one that I really quite like. I like looking for opportunities to buy, but I want to see confirmation. Now, this might be the winner for the week, depending on if price cooperates with us, because if we do see this cooperation, we could see, we could very easily see some kind of 300, 400 pips gain if the market decides to start cooperating with us. So let's do our top-down analysis. Long term, so here's the thing. You notice how price has been, so within this region here, we've been very bullish. So notice that within this area here, price has been making higher highs and higher lows. And then we had this very short, very fast breakdown, which since making that low, notice how price has continued to stay above. So price is making higher lows and higher highs, and higher lows and higher highs. And high, so even though we had this whole area here looks like a very big consolidation. Now, this is the daily chart, right? Even though this whole area here might look like a very big consolidation, if you look at price delivery, the way price has delivered, you would notice that we are still clearly in some sort, in a bullish market. So here's what I mean. If this is a low and this is our high, and this is our low, higher low, this is our higher high. Now, this low here is our higher low. Notice that this high here has taken out this high, is much higher than this one. So this is our higher high. So even though the market looks like, bears are, the market is going to fall off the face of the earth, this might just be a retracement to form a higher low to then go higher. So as long as price does not go below this blue box, as long as price does not go below this blue box, I anticipate we will see price, make some sort of bounce like this, and this is the move I'm looking to capitalize on. Now, we need some sort of confirmation, because without confirmation, I'm not just going to start buying or start selling because I feel price will go up. I want to see confluence. I want to see confirmation on price. Notice that we'll be having these bearish structures, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, while also forming this trend line. So now this trend line is actually liquidity. What it's doing here is causing liquidity in the form of, now, what is most people looking at? Well, they are looking at this. Many people are looking at this, and what are they seeing? They are seeing bounce, rejection, 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 rejection again. And again, they might be looking for rejection here, but what does that mean? Well, it means a lot of stop losses are, around this zone. And what does the market like to do? Well, it likes to trade toward those areas. So the market is going to likely want to blow those zones. But here's the thing, we don't know if it is ready to do that yet, or if it's going to break down further. So we need to look for signs in the market that it's ready to do that. Now, notice that anytime the market gets up to a zone like this, you can see the reaction is big. Again, it gets up to the zone, it reacts big, it gets to the area, you know, the reaction is quite strong every single time. But notice that the rejection seems to be getting smaller and smaller, right? And so this is the reason, this is where my interest lies. Now, the market, nobody knows where, we don't know, I don't know where what the market will do, but by looking at price delivery, we can figure out what the market wants to do, because smart money, they can't do anything but show their hand. Now, if we go down to the 1 hour chart, so you're going to see this much better on the 1 hour chart. We drop down to the 1 hour chart here and just look at this more critically. Here's what you'd see. Each time we come up to this area, we push down. Again, we come up. When we push down, notice that we take out the previous low, right? And then we'll push back into it. And what happened is, well, we take out the previous low. So in this case, we came up and then took out the previous low, right? Again, I wouldn't call this a retest, but here we got to this area. And what did we do? Well, we took out the previous low. Now, notice that this time price came up to this zone, but it's struggling to go lower than where it has come from. Now, this is, you know, this is an indication that sellers may be, you know, they may be tiring out. Now, if they fail to take out this low, actually, I have a buy position placed from here today. If they fail to take out this low as they are struggling to, notice how this low is now higher than this previous one. Well, we're going to likely see this market break this high. And if we break this trend line, we're most likely going to break this high, in which case we would probably see some sort of retests, and then we'll see price trying to gravitate upward. So this is, you know, this is kind of like the outlook I'm waiting for here. Confirmation would be wait for market to break this trend line, wait for market to break this high, because then it would be made low to high, to higher low, to higher high. And then you can look for a retest, then try to buy the market. And where will your target be? Where your target should at least be all the way up here, but definitely you want to partial out as price is moving your way and manage your trade according to how you see fit. But for this, I like this one long. I will be talking about this a lot in my class in the cutting edge trading room tomorrow and next. We'll be looking for opportunities depending on how the market plays out. But on a second note, I also want to I want to also clear you on the fact that if we look at the 4 hour chart here, there is also a possibility that markets may want to come down. That is why you see, so notice this red box I have here. I have an alarm here because I know that here we may break up and continue to go up from here, but we could also want to come back down and close this pocket. The reason is, notice how we have this pocket here, this gap, where there's an imbalance here, where the market has not delivered price fairly across board. So most times, in terms of when the market leaves those gaps, it likes to fill them. So we could drop down and tap into this zone before going up, which is the reason why waiting for confirmation is important, because if we get the confirmation, then you have a reason to start buying. Else, market drops, I'll be looking to buy from here. But one of these, we will definitely, I believe we'll definitely see one of these two play out. Either we break this area and continue to go up, in which case I will definitely be participating and looking to do that, or we break lower. I would not sell into this zone, definitely. Instead, I'll be looking to buy from this area to then take up. Now, note that if we continue to go down, then the trend line would also continue to extend. So we would definitely want to break it at some point. So if we continue to drift lower, then obviously the trend line would be something like this, and then maybe we continue to drag ourselves down, then we break it from here, right? So this is one to watch. This is one to pay attention to for the week, and we're going to likely see an outcome on this one play out this week. Okay, so there are a lot of other interesting pairs to discuss, but definitely this is the free to all. If you want to see me do analysis on all the pairs, do make sure that you join me in my cutting edge trading room, and it's actually free. All you just need to do is create your account and fund your account with Answer Capital, and then your account officer will add you to my Telegram group, and you'll be able to join in on our exclusive classes. Okay, so we have discussed a lot. I hope you guys picked a thing or two. I hope you enjoyed the class, and if you have questions, I'll take your questions now.